Hail and well met, and welcome back to Severed Threads, Notes from the Black Ballad. Oh my goodness, we're back. Thank you all who joined us for Season 1, and thank you for being back now for Season 2. I am Medium, and I'm here with my amazing friends, Jesse, Ryan, Tess, Samus, and Soku here to bring you Season 2 of Severed Threads. Before we go any further, I once again want to thank very heartily Storytellers Forge, the writers and producers of the module that we're playing, Black Ballad, right here. You should definitely check it out. And keep your eye on this space for the future. There have been several successful crowdsourcing campaigns, and there are other projects, a carnival of projects coming, if you will. So we'll speak more about that in the subsequent episodes of Severed Threads. I also want to thank Diamorte, who wrote and writes music and is responsible for the music you will hear in this campaign. Fantastic music, specifically written for the Black Ballad. If you are enjoying our character art, you have Kai to thank for that. You should check her out at Shabadi. Her information is going to be in the chat, as is the information for Diamorte and the information for Storytellers Forge. And last but not least, if you, like me, the DM stylings of moi, Medium, then please check me out. Also, links in the chat. I have games for hire, and I would love to be a DM for you. And I promise I don't always look like I just ripped my face off. It's just a mood that I'm in today. So, I think...
It's just one of those days.
Mondays, am I right?
It started as just the tiniest little thing, and I just did...
Who's a hang now?
Always
so satisfying.
When you gotta pop a pimple, you know?
Oh my god, get out.
Yeah. Well now, I think with all that being said, it is time to begin. And so, my friends, it is time. I extend my hand, inviting you to step with me into fantasy. Release your hold on that which you know to be true, and let imagination rule for the next few hours.
He said it. He did. He said the thing.
Last season on Severed Threads, Notes from the Black Ballad, betrayal! As the adventurers were poisoned by the nefarious Lord Dagult Neverember and found themselves in the afterlife. But this was not an afterlife of eternal reward or eternal punishment. No, this was a limbo, a holding area, if you will, a place known as the Sunless Crossing, a bizarre land unlike anything they'd ever experienced, full of ash-covered fields, junctions, and atonement groves. It wasn't long before the adventurers were met by their ashen shepherd, Johann, who began to show them the ropes of this place. It is a place where souls would go if there was a potential for them to be resurrected, and just to keep them from being ripped from their eternal punishment or their eternal reward, a way to ease themselves through the afterlife. A journey or a stay in this area that could be short or could be many, many hundreds of years long. And the adventurers began to explore their new existence in the Sunless Crossing, and became aware that perhaps things were not going as smoothly as they should, as they came to the city of Nox Valar and became known to the leaders of the city, a godless monarchy, a sovereign named Ashlyn, and her arbiter named Valen the Jade. As they acclimated to this city and their life there soon came a strange conflict that seemed to be encompassing the Sunless Crossing and Nox Valar, between two rival groups of souls coming to this area. The Legionnaires, led by an individual known as Janos, and the Cursed Guard, led by an individual known as Kelsier. As the adventurers began to make themselves more and more indispensable to the godless monarchy. They found themselves invited to a feast, a celebration in honor of the Ashen Shepherds, the guardians or the guides of the souls that come to the Sunless Crossing. And during this feast, there was an assassination attempt on the Sovereign, which the adventurers were able to thwart. However, it cost them their lives. Now, usually when you die in the Sunless Crossing, you are reborn, or your soul is reformed with a very short amount of time. But instead, they found themselves thrust back into the living world, but not as living creatures. No, they are vile undead. The group, having witnessed one of their member, Wynn, fall several days before this feast, are now reunited with her in this catacomb, which they recognize as being near the very place that they were betrayed by Lord Dagalt Neverember. And so, my friends, as you come to grips with your new existence, this putrid, and I know how much you know I love that word, this putrid form that each of you inhabit, organs exposed, jaws barely attached, limbs hanging dislocated from shoulders, and everything about you rotting. What do you do?
Oh, the
Well,
art.
Oh my gosh.
It's so good. Amazing.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
Oh, who's my favorite? I can't tell. I think it's Dusk.
Oh my god.
Did I change even?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh my god.
A little bit.
Is it like, I'm assuming it's dark where we are. Like, can we see anything? Like, or is it like too dark for us to see around?
Oh yeah. Look.
It is as before. Everywhere you move in this catacomb, about every 100 feet or so, there is a brazier that has a never not a never ending. What is it? It is a
Ever burning?
ever burning flame.
Yes.
That is still lit after the centuries of neglect down here. But so as such, it is not dark. It is certainly shadowed. It is not well lit, but you have enough light to see each other and to recognize your predicament. And indeed, the most pressing issue is the fact that one of your member, who you are now aware is Wynn, is actually in a pit. There is a spiked pit that you encountered when you came back through this way alive, that you were able to navigate around. But now it appears that one of you are stuck down in this pit.
Is there a way into the pit? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, physically, like, how do we, like, I know we can tell, like, we're gross and we're decaying, but like physically, how capable do I feel? Like,
On a scale of 1 to 18, how strong am I feeling in this moment?
like, Dawn is already not very strong, but like, just like maneuverability, like, do I think that
I don't think there's a role to put it on this. You feel pretty horrible. I think just generally across the board, everything is awful. So
okay.
go with that.
Okay. Okay. What were you gonna say?
Is there a way? I'm looking at Wynn, like, flailing and just gyrating, impaled on this pole. I'm looking to see if there's a way into the pit that isn't going to fall, like cause me to completely fall apart if I go down there.
We'll make a perception check.
Okay, am I rolling just regular perception?
Roll a d20 and I will tell you whether or not you succeed.
Okay. Zombie perception.
Oh my gosh, we're not even getting our own stats.
Okay, so I got a 13 on the die.
That will That will be enough, I think. There doesn't appear to be any other way into the pit as far as a door is concerned. However, you do see that along the side of the wall, going down the side of the pit and spiraling down, there appears to be what remains of perhaps brick, extended bricks, extruded
Protruding?
Protruding, thank you.
I got you.
There it is.
Protruding bricks that
Otherwise,
one could
pokey bricks.
potentially step down on. I would also say that with your perception check, if you had to guess, for some reason, the corpse that Dusk is inhabiting, or who you think is Dusk, seems to be slightly fresher, perhaps a little stronger than the rest of you.
I'm fresh, guys. Who's the least fresh?
I want to know.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have to be you, Win. You've been here the longest impaled on a stick.
Oh.
I think that's fair.
No.
I'm having an impaled on a stick in a pit kind of day.
Oh.
Mondays.
When
Go ahead.
Win looks up at everyone and says, "I've been here for days. I think I want to get out, but the more I try, the more I fall apart."
Looking around to try to see if there's anything that can help us besides like just one of us climbing down. Dawn's gonna try to see how much of us kind of came back, and I'm gonna try to cast light.
Ooh.
All right,
To see if we have
describe what this
access.
looks like. Whoever.
So I'm gonna look for something on the ground, and then I'm gonna realize that I'm just gonna like focus. I'm gonna pick something like a rock up, and I'm just gonna like focus on it and try to like bring up the pink kind of aura glow light that I normally call up when I'm lighting up an area with my magic.
You pick up the rock and begin to focus on it, and you dig deep down into that source of light, that faith that can create miracles, and you feel something coming, and then just a massive pus just comes out of your mouth as nothing happens to the rock.
Goo, you guys, goo is coming out of me.
I got this. Hang on. And you see Yak put his hands together. He's like, God, I'm so tall. I hate this. Ugh. And so he begins to conjure and tries to bring that giant eagle, the owl's talon, which you've all seen be his Bigsby hand, sort of conjured up from the earth. And so he begins to like make the claws and tries to get the verbal components right. He's like, I summon you to reach for the souls of my... God, what the fuck? This is terrible.
You have
Yeah,
goo
it's-
too.
Something in your hand as you make this claw in your hand, there's a crack, and your pinky just sort of dislocates and hangs for a moment.
I need that.
Uh-oh.
It's all right.
This
We seem to have lost
Yeah.
Samus for a moment, but I'm sure he will be back soon.
You're the freshest. Go get the stick out.
Yeah, the skeleton of Nile just crumbles, just literally falls to pieces.
It's just, he tries to talk and he just crumbles.
Because like we think that the only thing that's stopping her from getting up is the fact that she's impaled essentially to the ground.
You know, that would appear to be the problem. Yes.
And how impaled am I in terms of what is the amount of stick that is coming up that I like? How
2
tall
feet.
is it? 2 feet. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
I could be lifted over it. It's not like 8 feet tall or something.
Sure.
DM, looking around, are there? Do we have any weapons on us? Is there any? I'm looking for, like,
There is gear. You recall there's a massive pile of bodies. Adventurers who had attempted to delve this dungeon in the past and failed, but it is all rusted and rotted. It's possible there's something usable, but it would require some investigation.
So Yak, I walk right over to the pile of corpses and like instinctually go to hold my nose and then realize I don't have one. And it's, oh, God, this sucks. And I'm just going to start digging through the pile of corpses to try to find, I'm looking for rope and then some sort of staff or stave.
Sure, make an investigation check.
I will happily.
So roll a d20 and I'll tell you whether or not your investigation check succeeds.
Oh, you bastard. Okay. Okay. That's an 11.
An 11. So as you begin to rummage through these corpses and such, you think, I forgot some rope, and you put it, and it's just a long, goopy intestine that comes out of somebody.
Oh.
So unfortunately, with your 11 minus a significant amount, you are not able to find any rope or a stave. But
anyone want some meat rope?
Dusk, were you heading? I'm sorry, I missed if you said.
I'll look at Dawn. Do not ever call me fresh again.
Well, you still have both your hands.
Find different words, and I'll start attempting to go down the bricks.
Is there any way I can? I'm gonna offer a rotting appendage to at least ease you down the first step, so you have something to hold on to as you're climbing. And
if you can get a little bit more creative, or specific with how you are helping, I will allow this check to be made an advantage. But I need something more than just helping.
Is there adjacent to this protruding brick situation? Is there anything that I can hold on to with one rotting appendage to anchor myself and give her a little bit of stability as she begins to descend?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Oh, I can't keep my 13.
Or a D20 roll.
Okay. That is a... well, it's not an advantage, so I'm taking the first one, and that's a straight up 10 on the die.
Oh.
I think. Is that right? There's a lot of numbers on there.
Yep. Yeah, that is a straight up 10. So you look around on the ground looking for something that you can hold on to. There's just nothing secure right around this area. If only there was someone to give you a hand.
I will take my hand up. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I'm going to lay down on the edge then and just use the ground to anchor me and
we could
offer
chain
my
link.
hand. Offer my hand as she descends.
We do feet to hands.
I meant elbow to elbow, but...
What do we got?
So everyone's going to sort of grab on to Niall, and Niall's going to hold on to Dusk as she slurps her way down to where Wynn is.
Yeah.
Why would you use that word?
And we're going to hope that none of us lose another appendage.
All right. That being the case, yes, please, Dusk, make your D20 roll with advantage.
Okay.
As you attempt to carefully step down these protruding rocks to get down to Wynn without impaling yourself.
Okay.
Do I have to make a disintegration roll?
First is a 12, and the next is a nat 1, so I'll go with the 12.
You watch as Dusk takes 2 steps and then falls on the ground. I'm going to roll randomly to see whether or not you hit a staff, a spike.
Spike.
Oh, no.
Oh my God, we just all get impaled, and then that's the end of the
That's it.
Yep.
All right. So you do hit a spike. However, it is not as center mass as Win seems to be taking up most of the mass as far as like being actually impaled and trapped by a staff coming up. So it hits you in the shoulder and you feel it go through and you freeze for a second, but then realize that with a little effort you just pull yourself up off of this spike and are free.
Thank you for clarity. I was going to ask what sound that made in the impaling, but I think you did a pretty good job. So we're good.
As you're doing this, you hear in the back of your mind sort of a behold as you pull yourself up.
Now I know what Hugo feels like.
Every time.
Oh my gosh,
So,
all our stuff and our bodies, and we just don't have anything.
Just don't
We have a
think
cat.
about it.
Can you
I
lift
will-
her?
You're doing great.
Thanks. I will go to where when the dead is and
Okay.
work on trying to lift her up.
All right. We can do this two ways. You can either both make attempts, or you can give a help action to win.
Oof.
It,
And it doesn't really matter. We're all at the same
It's-
stats, right? We're just going to roll 20.
Uh,
so.
is Wynn impaled looking up or is she impaled looking down?
She's impaled looking up.
Okay. All right, then I will. Is she all the way to the ground?
Yeah, she's about halfway through this that tail.
These are important details.
Very helpful. Yeah, so she's halfway down the spike.
I will.
The spike itself is about 5 feet tall. She's at around the 2 foot level.
So I will actually go under her and
Okay.
lift, from below, trying to lift her up, like standing
All
up.
right. Do you want to help Soku? Excuse me. Do you want to help Dusk win, or do you want Dusk to help you?
So
Considering
I'll-
my rolls,
I'll
yeah,
roll.
you should roll.
Yeah. I'll roll.
My
You
luck
doing real quick, clack?
is
all right, Spike Hike.
no.
Come on, you got
I
this.
believe in you.
Is it advantage then?
Yes.
17.
All right. So as Dusk's corpse gets underneath you and begins to lift, you reach up and begin to pull yourself inch by inch up off of the spike until after a few moments you are finally free.
Oh, dear God. Finally. Thank you so much. And she hugs her, which is the first
Very
time that Wynn has
unusual.
ever hugged Dusk.
Oh.
Or maybe any
and
of
my
you.
arm falls off.
This
love
is
it. You're-
the worst thing. This is worse than when we died in the goo pit.
As,
It's worse.
At least there's
as
not
you
slime.
as the hug separates, there's a sort of a melted cheese kind of.
No. Okay, so the steps were enough
I
to
don't
get
need to
down.
alarm
How
anybody.
much harder do we think it will be to try to get back up out of them?
It will take a couple of tries, but with enough time and effort, you will be able to escape, and you do so. And you now find yourselves all standing once again in this catacomb, not in your original bodies, but in the bodies of some of the unfortunate adventurers that you encountered dead here when you were last here.
Important question.
Undead in the realm of the living, no longer in the Sunless Crossing.
Do we see our bodies?
I believe that check was made last season, and the answer was no.
Thank you for those kisses.
You're welcome. I'm so glad we found you.
What in the gods' names are we supposed to do now?
I don't know, but this sucks.
We don't have magic.
We don't have pinkies.
We don't have anything.
Should we try burning ourselves?
No.
Oh, like dying again?
You must have been a very
Try lighting
slippery
ourselves on
baby.
No.
But that's
No,
an
that's
interesting
good.
point.
Get all the terrible
Should
ideas
we
out
die
first,
again?
and then we'll get around to the good ones.
The people had remembered being zombies.
Yeah.
You go back. Have we ever fought zombies? Like, what do we know about fighting zombies? Like, what do we know about zombies?
I would say at level 11 adventurers, you are quite aware that the zombies are a gross but not a particularly dangerous threat to yourselves at this point. However, there is something different. There is a charge in the air. It reminds you very much of the music that you've been hearing in the Sunless Crossing, except you don't hear it. It is almost as if it's a beat, or like if you're in an apartment building, several apartments down, somebody is playing music loud. You can kind of feel it through the floor. You feel it through the air. It's completely ignorable, except when everyone's quiet, and then you just kind of sense it. And there's a power there, perhaps. But before
Can we try to echolocate it? Can we try to perceive where that energy / sound is coming from?
Make a perception check. Roll a d20, I should say.
And similarly, while we're figuring that out, can I sense if the beat pattern is same as the tune that people were humming universally?
Yes.
So a perception check.
Okay.
Well, I got a 5. So.
I got a rock.
Yeah.
Another 12 on the die.
12 on the die. It's
rolled.
hard to say. What? Go ahead.
Oh, I was also similar to Niall. Like I see him sort of like I'm also like kind of feeling those rhythms in the air, trying to figure out if it's the same thing.
You know,
I rolled a
since
19.
you're a bard, I'll give you advantage on the roll. Niall, you're not able to really tell for sure. It would seem to be a likely guess, but.
All right.
And Jack?
I rolled with my advantage. I rolled an 11 and a 19, so 19 on the die.
Again, you can't hear it well enough to know for sure, Jack, but based on the pulse and around the general flow of it, you think, yeah, it could be the same tune. But before you're able to make much of a discussion of this, you hear the sounds of a guttural voice, almost like a yapping of a dog of some sort, and then answered by another yapping-like sound echoing from a nearby passageway as something appears to be making its way towards you.
I don't like that.
I was so close. I almost had it. Wait, is that a dog? We're in trouble. We're made of bones. We're in trouble.
Let's lay down.
We were always made of
Wait,
bones.
no, that's a terrible idea.
Is there anything that I can swing nearby?
I'm gonna grab
You
some.
pick up a rusty sword.
I hold my arm.
Scramble? Can we scramble to the pile of corpses and lay down on top of the pile of corpses?
That's what I was saying.
No, but you said lay down. I mean, try to lay down up farther. I don't know what I'm...
All right. As you all speak to each other, and keep in mind that as you're, especially if you speak quickly, things begin to like fall off of you. So you and teeth fall out as you try to speak quickly.
Oh God.
You see a group of kobolds make their way, slinking themselves into this chamber, and they stop and they look at you and they all freeze. And they all slowly turn to one that is standing there that has a helmet that appears to be made out of some sort of enormous lizard skull. And he looks at all of them and says something to them. Does anybody speak Draconic?
Oh.
Yes, I do.
Me too.
Aha! Excellent. Well, then the two of you hear this individual say,
What is there to be afraid of? It's just a bunch of zombies. They're slow, they're stupid. Feel the power of Tiamat deep in your hearts. The thing that was not a dragon, that fish thing, it is gone. These catacombs are ours. We must be brave, we must be ruthless, and we must attack!
And I say,
Oh,
oh,
go ahead.
okay.
What do you say?
If I get a chance before they attack, I say in Draconic, Tiamat sent us.
Ooh.
So, I think that would be a very interesting way to proceed. However, as you open your mouth to say this, what comes out is... and you are not able to communicate with the living as well as you're able to communicate with the dead, it would seem, as they become running towards you. And I will move us to the battle map.
I'll be absolutely rutted the day I go down to a bunch of kobolds. Let's kick some ass.
So let's roll initiative. If you double-click on your tokens, you will discover your abilities and some options that you perhaps have not had in the past.
Oh, no. Okay.
I'm going to hate it.
8. 22 hit points.
I could do anybody else except for Dawn.
What do you mean?
Oh,
I can't double click on Dawn. I can click on
You can't
everybody
click on
else, but I
Dawn?
can't click on me. But if you want me to play Niall, I got it.
No. It's
Okay.
fine. It's fine. How strange. I will try to fix this while everybody's doing initiative, and if I can't, I'll just move you for you when you wish to move.
I can't even see the abilities.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah,
I think I know what the problem is.
Is there an initiative?
it's me. I'll just go.
I have the PDF. I can send you.
Let's see here.
I'm good.
There's
now.
multiple zombies. I think you are a previous version of a zombie. Able to do it now, Dawn? Mm-hmm. All right.
My initiative is 11. Not sure
Okay.
why it's.
Let's see.
All right, so as everybody prepares for battle, I think I see everyone.
I just clicked it again and it actually worked. So
All right, that's a good initiative roll. I think we're going to go back to what you had before, though, if you don't
yes,
mind.
that's
Win.
fair. Nope, no, it's totally fair.
I had a 7 on my first die. I don't.
All
I
right,
didn't show
it's
up
not
on
a
the
problem.
track. All right.
Remember to click your tokens before you roll.
I
That
did.
is all still in effect.
right?
Sorry about all the undead goopiness, guys.
Why is it always goo?
We're so goopy.
Why is it always goo?
It's always go.
And now we're the goo.
We gotta get a new
We're the goo.
Oh,
The
no.
goo group.
Goopy goes
All
on.
right, I got bumped out of roll 20 there for a second, so
We are
give
not
me
the
what
goo
did
crew.
you roll? 11 win.
The goo crew. We're that
And
even if we
Niall.
don't want to be.
Yeah.
What did you have for your initiative, Niall?
7.
Right. Now I think we're all good. So at the top of the order, we have the kobolds. The kobolds immediately begin to spread out. You see several that climb up pillars on either side, trying to get to a better vantage place. Comes up to there, and then sling bullets begin to fly. Those go to there. These come forward and are going to take the dodge action as they are waiting for their leader, who is rallying everybody with cries of "Fatimat!"
That's the leader in the
The leader,
northernmost.
the one, yes, this one here who has the skull for a face.
Got it.
Old skull face, they called him.
Sure, I could come up with something more interesting there.
they're kobolds,
So the
really?
one directly in front of you is the leader. There are now a couple that have moved further towards you in this area, and then the others are going to take the dash action, and actually, no, they're going to run 30 feet closer to you, and they are going to use their slings. So a bunch of bullets come flying towards you all. I think they're going to attack Win and Jack. So sling bullet number 1
All right.
is going to be a 9, which will actually hit Win.
Yep.
That is going to do a total of 4 points of bludgeoning damage. Another attack, a 23 to hit Win. That will be 3 points of bludgeoning damage. Then Jack, an 18 will hit. That will be 3 points of bludgeoning damage. And a 10 will also hit. You're discovering that your zombie forms are really bad at dodging attacks as these bullets all come whizzing across the space towards you. and embed themselves with wet thugs inside each of your corpse-like forms. And that is going to be the kobolds done. Brings us to Undead Wind.
I'm going to dash straight forward to the kobold directly to the south of me.
So when you say dash,
Yeah, and so I could have moved 40 feet, right?
yeah, the the shambling movement that the zombies have is a 20 feet, I believe, is your base speed. But I think indeed, from where you were, 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 20, you actually don't have the movement to get to your target from where you were.
Oh, are those 10-foot squares?
No, they're 5 feet. You started here, correct? You started...
I started right there,
okay.
and then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
20,
to get
so you
to
have
here?
a speed of 20. Are you taking the dash
But I'm
action?
dashing.
Ah, you take the dash action. And of course, yes.
Yeah.
You absolutely run right up to the kobold that is in front of you that is dodging. That is
Awesome.
your move and your action. Anything else?
Nope,
right.
that's me.
Bring us to Undead Dawn.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. And then can I use 2 malice points to bonus action rush to go another 10 feet?
Absolutely. You may.
10.
Oh, that was smart.
And then I'm going to, when I get up on it, I'm going to make a slam attack against it.
All right. So you begin to move forward, shambling along like zombies do. And as you get about halfway towards this kobold that launched the sling bullets at Wynn, you feel something rise up within you, and this song that you've been hearing, it begins to pulse in your head. And there is the view that you have, compromised as it may be due to cataracts or missing an eye. However, you are able to see, the view becomes tinged with a little bit of scarlet as you suddenly leap forward and you watch the eyes of the kobold widen, as certainly wasn't expecting this kind of alacrity from a zombie.
We just got her back! And I'm going to slam attack.
Go for it.
That's
like you
a
have rolled
14 to hit
14 is a hit.
for 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
4 points of bludgeoning damage nearly drops this kobold. As you approach it, he begins to takes the damage, stumbles back a few feet, and then reasserts itself, looking around panicked, and he says something in Draconic. Those of you who speak Draconic, you hear him say,
What's that music?
Interesting.
Next up we have Zerquick.
Can I say out loud to those who don't speak that they can hear the music too?
Sure.
Then I just call out, they can hear the music too.
Zerquick, the leader, comes rushing forward, screaming a battle cry, runs up to you, Undead Wind. As he gets to here, he is going to, right next to you, he is going to use a bonus action. He's wielding a spear. He is going to attempt to trip you with it. I need you to make a... Yes, I need you to make a strength saving throw, please. So roll a d20 and add... All right, that is a failure as you are knocked prone with his bonus action.
Dang it.
Indeed. And he is then going to use his action to try to stab you twice with its spear. Once, a 14 will hit.
Definitely.
You're going to take 4 points of piercing damage. And a 17 will hit. You're going to take 2 points of piercing damage. That is...
Down to the single digits, folks.
That's going to be the end of its turn. Brings us to Undead Nile.
So go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, sorry. Point out. So I was late to the initiative party, and so I
Oh, you are indeed an 11. I see. So you would go after Win.
Yes.
We're gonna have you go. We're gonna have you go at initiative 8, Jack.
That's
just
interesting.
to keep things in
Civil.
order here.
Yeah.
So, it is your turn, Jack.
Lovely. You're like, oh, fucking kobolds, fuck this, and then he's gonna go ahead and move forward. So he heads what would be south as he sort of charges up and over this post, and then he goes to sling some vicious mockery at these poor dumb dragons. And as he goes to do it, he tries to spring up all this malice, and he winds up just vomiting using this putrid projectile, which
All right, yes.
so he goes ahead and I'm gonna try to vomit on at least the two in front of me. I think I've got a 15-foot cone, so they need to make a deck save.
If you are willing to encompass win, I think you could hit all three of them. They are all lined up in such a way that as long as win is also included in that cone, they will all take the damage.
Just do it. I can't be grosser than I am already.
Jack,
I don't even feel cute. Yeah, okay.
Do it.
All right. So he just goes, all right, you, just routes on them all.
all right, again, as you go to cast this spell and find your magic not there, again, there is a scarlet tinge that begins to creep into your field of vision. And in your heart, you feel as if it's pulsing to the beat. And you hear this music now burning in your ears, and it empowers you. It feels like you've given you a little extra something, and something takes the form of this horrible spume that comes out. And I'm going to roll my dex saves. The ones that are dodging get the bonus on their dexterity save. So a 14 and a 16 from them.
Okay.
I think that succeeds for both of them.
Yes, it does.
This music, as the spume finishes, this music, there's a haunting, melancholy flavor to it. Feels at the same time it's a longing, a tragic song, one that speaks somehow of loss and also of deep betrayal. Let's see. So all three of them have succeeded in their saving throws as they see this substance coming and they dive out of the way. When
all right.
You just stand there and take it, I guess. All right.
I mean,
what is the damage, please?
all right, so that's gonna be it's a 3d4 plus 2, so that's 10. So 12 total damage.
All right. Even though they were able to dodge out of the way, that is enough to kill both of these kobolds that scream and curl in on themselves as this damage appears to be poisonous, and as such, it has no effect whatsoever on Win the zombie.
You're just covered in puke.
Yes.
You were always my least favorite friend, Jack.
I'm sorry, and yay.
So that is 2 kobolds dead. That is the end of Jack's turn. Brings us to Niall.
Seeing Jack having just done that, I think to myself, oh, that's a lovely idea. And I will move forward 20 feet.
Said no one ever about spewing.
Oh my god.
And,
Zombie vomit.
yeah, so can you only use one malice action per turn? Is that the idea?
Correct, yes.
Okay, well then I'll just stand up right behind Jack, because who would want to turn down the chance to cover that annoying short one in putrid vomit? And I will also use my my putrid attack to, in the guise of covering the helmet, the bone helmet guy with puke, but I'm not sad that it's primarily covering Jack.
Oh, I'm so
right.
glad I wasn't on the receiving end. Oh god!
The prospect of doing this fills you with, I'm not going to say glee at first, until the music also begins to play within you. There's something deeply wrong about this. You've encountered zombies. You shouldn't be able to do this sort of thing as a zombie. Whatever this is, it is going against the natural order. It's kind of hard to say about the undead, but there's something disturbing about where this energy is coming from, where this power is coming from.
I just realized I asked how much experience we had with zombies. Dusk literally just wanders around with a zombie.
Oh.
And I
Yeah, I was gonna say.
took me a minute.
We have one we've named.
So
To be fair, we've
I
only
s-
been mostly dead. So
What is the damage on that projectile?
I've lost my.
11.
I've lost my.
You
Thank
rolled,
you.
You rolled a 9 plus
Thank
2,
you.
so it's 11.
Perfect. I appreciate you.
Dawn to the rescue. 11. I did succeed on the saving throw, so we'll go half damage as another gout of this vile substance rains down upon the goblin leader, and also Jack and Win. Neither one of them are affected, however. It's going to bring us to
I just
Undead Dusk.
get barfed on, and then I get barfed on again.
Oh, I made sure that you were out of that cone. I aimed it so that it was just Jack.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Such a nice gesture.
you know,
Friends!
it's days like these that I remember you used to lick your own crotch. It's just, yeah.
You would if you could. Don't you lie.
That part.
I mean, who would?
I'll do the same as done, and I'll do 2 malice points to rush so that I can get up right on this dude.
I thought for a second
Okay.
Dusk was also going to throw up on me. And I was like, oh,
I was thinking about it,
okay.
but there was no way that I could hit Niall and the evil dude, and I thought, I'm not gonna just point it at Niall.
One way, everybody line up one after the other.
Oh my god.
I mean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
So I am going to assume that since I'm the freshest, that I still have some teeth left.
Yes.
Okay, then
I
I'm
think
going to
that's a
bite
good
now.
assumption. All right, make that bite attack.
Fight the guy covered in puke.
Oof.
Good job.
Yeah.
I'm afraid, however,
6.
what you have rolled a 6 is not enough. As he sees it coming, he goes, "Ah, no!" and begins to show signs of panic, and looks around wildly.
Where's that music coming from? It's very compelling.
And it begins to back away. It would seem. Anything else, Dusk?
No, that's it. Just
All right, the kobolds all look askance as what has just happened. The one that is right in front of you, Dawn, is going to, let's see here. He is going to take the disengage action and scamper away, trying to get as far as he can. He clambers up halfway up a pillar that is close by here, going up to this second level of this particular ruin. Just looks like a balcony or an overlook that is in this area. The one that is to your east, Niall, is going to also throw a sling, I think. I really want them to get advantage of their pack tactics, but they want to stay away from you. So I
We're
think
so
it's just
cute.
going to be
I can't
a
imagine why.
straight roll. He's going to throw it at Undead Dusk, I think. A 15 will succeed, and that's going to be 6 points of bludgeoning damage. And it too is going to back away, as it seems that these zombies are putting up a bit more of a fight than they were expecting. They see their leader being pummeled and bitten and spewed upon. They are losing their excitement about this particular fight. Brings us to Undead Win.
I am going to use 4 malice points
Yes.
and frenzy, making 3 slam attacks on that leader right
All
there.
right, so I assume you're standing up.
Yes. Did that take a bonus action?
No, you rise up just off the floor, dripping with this poisonous goo, as the red tinge encompasses your field of view as well, and you feel within you this melancholy, tragic, and rage at betrayal, all encompassed in this music that begins to pound within you as you suddenly move incredibly fast for a zombie and throw yourself at this kobold.
Oof.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
When?
However,
My
Honey.
luck now.
No.
what did you roll, Win?
I rolled an 8, a 7, and a 5.
So,
So much I had this badass moment, and then I think I just was so covered in puke that I like slipped every time I tried to
You
slam
slipped
him.
more and
So-
more.
this kobold that you're fighting with the skull helmet does have a shield that as you rise up, he looks at you fearfully and holds the shield up and just, and you manage to not hit him once. Anything else there, Win?
Man, that was a fun way to spend 4 points.
Oh. I know how you feel.
You know what? So standing up didn't take an
It did
action,
not,
right?
Not at all.
I'm gonna use a bonus action I'm going to use more malice points to
You
use
can
a
only
bonus.
use your malice points once per turn.
Dang it. Then
Block him
I
from
think that's all I
leaving.
can do.
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay. And then I'm just gonna look like I'm gonna puke on him, but then I can't.
All right.
Dry here.
That's going to bring us to Dawn.
I'm gonna use my 20 feet of movement to shamble over behind this guy. So I'm standing opposite of where Dusk is.
Gotcha.
And then I'm going to use 4 malice points
Yes.
to just slam this guy as much as I can.
Go for it.
No.
What?
No.
on earth? 6, natural 1, and an 8.
Wow. Well, you know what, guys? You are zombies, so.
God.
But even that's.
Oh my god.
We're building his confidence, is what is happening right now.
Oh my god.
This kobold is not stupid. He recognizes a good thing when he sees it, and he goes, I was wrong. Retreat, retreat. And this kobold leader is going to take the disengage action and begin to scamper away.
These zombies are clear. These zombies are clearly sent by the undead lord of vomit. Get out of here.
And he begins to run. That's going to bring us to Undead Jack.
Damn it. All right, so let's see here. Okay, so I will just like, ow, fuck, and so I'm gonna start to then shamble and like kind of push past 5 to 10. What there? I don't think that's not gonna have the range for the vomit, right?
It is not.
No. Yeah. So, so it's like I'm sort of like trying to shamble. I slip a little bit on the vomit on the floor, and like I get to there, like, you better run, which just sounds like.
Indeed.
Hate it. I hate it.
You're not no action for you, Jack?
I
You could dash.
You could
do
rush.
the,
You could use
you
2
have-
points
you
and
have the
rush
malice.
and run another 20
yeah, I
feet
do have that. Yeah, I do have that. So let me. But like,
and slam him. Just one
Yeah.
slam. Maybe it's the triple slam that's cursing us. Maybe we gotta do one slam.
oh no, yeah, because I can dash as a bonus action. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. All right, so yeah, so I'll dash and be like, you better run, and then like suddenly I just feel this. Again, that song comes and like my bones move with a little more alacrity, and I was like, okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and try to make a slam attack.
This vision of you running and then falling flat on your face and slip and sliding the last few feet.
Yeah, right.
On your own puke.
I know, yeah. I just, it's like a weird Tom Cruise risky business slide of like.
That would be a weird Tom Cruise risky business slide.
I mean, is there any other kind?
Oh my god, you guys!
What is with the 5s, everybody?
Don't worry, everybody. Came at him with a solid 5. Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
Being
That's enough
zombie
for him
sucks.
to dodge out of the way. That's it for Jack.
It's
Undead Nile?
Well, I mean, I imagine the law of averages is going to work in our favor at some point. I'm going to use my malice points to use my bonus action to dash, which will put me just north of Undead Jack. And I'm going to try to bite him.
Okay.
You got this.
We're going to give him a bite.
Come on, come on.
Come on, Simon.
More than five.
He's got a better AC than the other kobolds, but it's not that much better.
Nope, I got a 9.
9. I'm sorry, you guys. Leaving bits and
Remember when
pieces
we
of
were
yourself
heroes?
everywhere.
And we're going to traumatize him for the rest of his little life.
All right. That is
Remember
Niall's
when
turn.
we were heroes?
Done. Brings us to Undead Dusk.
Okay, I
I
am
mean, that's how I normally roll, so that's fine.
5, 10, 15, 20. And then I'm also going to rush
Okay.
so that I can make
Use
it.
those malice points to rush.
And then I am going to, again, attempt to bite him, but I am going to roll a physical dice because roll 20 is very unhappy with us today.
Alright,
Never mind, I rolled a 3.
I'm so glad we're back for season 2, everybody.
All right.
Guys, we were epic heroes once. And now
Yeah.
look at us. Now we're the thing that level 1s kill.
Now,
And doing
apparently,
a
the guy
poor job even for that.
It's like, I'm gonna go ahead and say that yes, you're all level 1 zombies. Amazing. The kobolds are going. So the kobolds are going to continue to run. However, they are going to throw a couple of sling bullets. I think 2 of them. Yes, 2 of them are going to throw sling bullets. One of them's going to go at Undead Nile.
Okay.
That will hit with a 17,
Okay.
doing 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And the other one is going to go towards Undead Dawn. A 9 will also hit, and that will be 4 points of bludgeoning damage. Then they begin to scamper away. This catacomb has numerous cracks in the walls and in the masonry. It seems like everywhere you look, there's a little dark crevice for a kobold to scamper away. And before you can blink or, make sort of protruding eye motions, in case you don't have eyelids, the kobolds have run away, leaving only their leader behind, who's cowering behind his shield, attempting to escape.
We have to take a hit, at least him down.
I don't know.
Undead Win,
Or land a hit on him.
it is your turn.
He's
Undead
some
Win.
sort of god.
What is that music? Tiamat, what are you trying to tell me?
All right, I'll use my malice points to get close to him.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna slow.
Damn.
Hey!
Win, that's a hit!
Yes.
Fantastic.
What's
oh my
the damage?
gosh. What is the damage?
He instantly dies.
4
Heart failure.
1d6 plus let me just 4. So 1d4.
No,
Wait,
1d6.
1d6.
Yes, 26. Come on.
Just 1 and then plus 1. So 6 damage.
There it
6
is.
points of damage as you pummel your undead limbs into this kobold. He looks very hurt.
No! No!
Emotionally.
Yes. Anything else, Win?
That's me.
Bring it home,
brings us
Dawn.
to Dawn.
Come on,
I'm going
Don.
to use my last 2 malice points to run up over here. And I'm also going to use a slam attack.
So everyone is essentially surrounded this poor kobold.
He started it.
He did.
He did.
He started it for sure.
He's very sorry.
14
14 hits.
Nice.
for 2 bludgeoning.
Oh my God.
I rolled a 1 on the damage.
Oh my god.
Still alive. All right, that is going to bring us to the kobold leader who begins to shake his head puts one hand over he actually drops his spear, puts his hand over one ear. Just,
Yeah, the
That music. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
and he's going to take the disengage action and run again. And as he does, he scampers into one of these crevices, dark holes, and you can see just his tail disappearing in as he wriggles away. And it seems unlikely that you're going to be able to catch him. And even if you do, he seems to still have a bit of fight left in him. You don't think you're going to be able to succeed in killing this kobold as he escapes, and that will be the end of our combat.
I hated that so
That's
much.
what
Oh
you
my
want.
god.
So as there's just puddles of goo lying everywhere,
We're all just like covered in bile and just
a
like
couple of dead kobolds. You did succeed in taking out a couple.
I want to pick up a spear.
That was
Did we level
disgusting.
up?
Did
Yes,
we turn
yes,
back into
you're now
ourselves?
level 2 zombies.
Did we
Level
turn
2
back into
zombies.
ourselves?
You sure
Can
do.
I be pretty again?
I'll just walk up to Jack where I have doused him in vomit, and I'll just casually wipe some off and give him a little pat on the back.
Again, this image of just melted cheese just as you ropey lines of slime coming up off of him.
I hope
It's
nobody's
in my
listening
hair.
and watching this after dinner.
Or during.
True.
If they know what's good for them, there's goo. We're goo. We're the goo group.
We're the
You
goo
We're
group.
We're the goo group.
Goo crew.
So we are. We
goo
fight a
crew.
lot of slimy stuff.
I mean, I like the naughty sovereigns, but I don't know. The goo crew.
Go.
We are
The non-sovereign is like our album name, and we're the goo group.
So, as this fight is
the
concluded,
gurus.
you feel, ooh, that's clever, Ryan. It's almost like you're smart or something.
Smarter as a zombie.
Yeah.
As the
I only
as
had a
this-
brain.
as this music dies
Yeah.
down within you, and the fight is over, you now once again have a chance to take stock. I will remind you that Wynn is not aware of what all has been happening.
Right.
Okay.
Donna's gonna go up to Jack, or I'm gonna go up to Jack,
I
and
swear to God, if you puke on me, I'm gonna lose it.
no. I told you we'd find her.
I never doubted you.
We're all tied together, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. In some ways, more than one, as he like just flicks the vomit off of himself.
And then I'm gonna go over to when we almost fell apart without you.
Why are you here? Why am I here? How is this
You
happening?
were killed. And then we went to the
So that
feast.
means you were killed.
And then we went to the feast. And somebody tried to kill the sovereign.
Not somebody.
The crazy bitch that was fighting the golden boy in the streets showed up
The
to
one
try
who
to kill the
splatted
sovereign.
Pebble Moss. Yeah.
And we tried to
I remember.
protect her. It was bad. Everybody died. I watched you all die. I watched every one of you die. I couldn't stop it.
Pebble Moss.
He must
That
be
means
here.
he's
somewhere.
Wonder if he's here too.
What do you remember when you first came back? You were here before us. What happened?
I was in a pit. You saw me. That's where I was
See,
this whole time.
you regained yourself already impaled.
Yes.
Oh, that's awful.
We ducked.
I will remind you that as once again, as you made the transition, there was the impenetrable blackness, but instead of the golden light coming to bring you comfort, it was darkness that seemed to go on and on and on. But then there was a violent red scarlet light that seemed to consume you, and when that cleared, you found yourself in the condition you are now.
Was that scarlet light, does that remind us of the light we were seeing when we were using our malice points just now?
Yes, 100%.
And does it at all seem like the red light that we were seeing in the sky while we were still in the Sunless Crossing?
Well, the red light that you were seeing wasn't in the sky. Before, where souls seemed to come down onto the... Yeah, they're falling down, encompassed with this golden light. It seems that they're all coming now accompanied by this scarlet light. And then you will recall when you were at Junction, there seemed to be a bizarre substance, like a viney, ropey substance that was entangling the newer souls. They would remove it, and as they let it go, it sort of disappeared, sort of turned to ash, the same ash that is on the rest of the surface of the Sunless Crossing.
But we don't have that.
You do not.
Okay.
Something's broken. We've been cast out of the afterlife.
The sovereigns seem to think there was something broken. We were at a dinner when Kelsier showed up. She had a lot of power behind her. A lot. They Niall was disintegrated by an immense amount of power.
Thank you for the reminder.
At least you didn't have to watch everybody die.
What is it about this song?
How do we get back to the crossing?
Since we are feeling the music and seem to be quote unquote more a part of it, is there now a better recollection or a better idea of what is this familiar to us?
In terms of familiar, trying to figure out where you heard the song before, in your past, no. But as you have experienced it more and more, you definitely are correct. There is something about this song that seems to be tying all of this together. It has a quality to it that makes you feel as if it is a song that you remember. But it is not one that you're able to bring to mind. But as you are concentrating and thinking about this, you begin to hear chanting, low at first, but then clear, echoing through the catacombs, coming from seemingly all directions, at least at this point. A group of people.
Do we understand the language?
It appears to be in common.
Okay.
Make a perception check for me, Dusk. Roll a d20.
Okay.
As you attempt to listen with your zombie ears.
17.
17? That's pretty good for a zombie. You hear...
I still have my ears. I'm so fresh.
The freshest ears.
Of course, yes.
Freshest ears.
You hear, by Crystal Tower we pledge to thee. Thy hand guides all to destiny. In life we walk the path you show. In death thy mercy we will know.
Why is that so on topic?
Can you repeat that, DM?
Indeed.
Just for
By Crystal Tower we pledge to thee. Thy hand guides all to destiny. In life we walk the path you show. In death thy mercy we will know. I will allow anyone who is proficient in religion to make a D20 check.
Ooh, yes.
So this will be religion based on your previous bodies. You seem to still have your mind at the very least.
So I get to add my...
You get to roll a D20 and I'll tell you what you
rolled a
remember.
5.
Okay, never mind.
Well,
anyone else?
I'm proficient, and I rolled a 1.
All right. Oh.
15.
Can I
15. Okay. Thank God, Soku.
Jesus.
15.
Thank God for death.
Crystal Tower. That refers to Kelemvor, the Farunian god of the dead.
Okay.
Specifically, death as in its natural state, the end of life, the transition, the closing of the living world and transitioning to the dead.
When, after you died, we also talked to some people who remembered. There were souls in the crossing who had remembered being there before. And they remembered being zombies.
They remembered
on other planes.
Being
not this plane.
Yeah.
Other planes. Some of them this plane. Some of them recognized the plane they were on. Some of them didn't. But they remember being zombies.
So it's random that we're here, not because we died near here.
I think it's random. I don't know.
You hear more chanting. Oh, it sounds closer now. Oh, judge of souls, we call thy name in shadowed halls, thy truth the flame.
Can I
death's
make
cold veil? Let me finish my chanting.
I'm sorry.
Fine, go ahead.
No, I want to hear the poem.
Yeah, he's not throwing away his chance.
Through death's cold veil, thy justice reigns, eternal keeper of life's remains.
They don't like the dead. They don't like undead, guys. They don't like undead.
Can I make an Arcana check to see if they're doing anything spellcasting wise with this chant?
Make a religion check, I would say, not Arcana.
Religion, not Arcana. Even if I'm not proficient in it,
does my previous religion roll help with this part of the poem? Or
I'll tell you what, I will allow an Arcana check from Niall. The DC will be higher as it is not specifically arcane magic.
Understood.
Ooh.
Okay, that's actually a 19 on the die.
Very nice. You don't think that this chant is in itself magical. However, it does seem to have some sort of ritual quality to it, like a hymn or a catechism. Catechism. That word that starts with C that has to do with religion.
Yeah. No,
Catechism?
Catechism. Yeah.
It's not catechism. As you are listening to this, a torchlight begins to fill this chamber. As walking in, you see several individuals, all of them armored and wearing robes that have a dark purplish blackish hue to them, and they all are holding out holy symbols that look to be a skeletal hand holding a balance, the symbol of Kelemvor. As they come into this area, these individuals, 3 of them, turn and look at you all and move forward. As they do, go ahead.
I was going to say, can I make a stance or a hand signal of surrender?
You can.
Yes, and I was thinking, could I move in some way that would maybe distinguish me from a regular zombie, like even like a bow or something that is too formal for the form we're in?
You may, of course, make any signals that you wish as these individuals approach you.
So we're
you
not
seem
going
to
play
recognize one of them. It is a female. Half of her face is covered by a porcelain mask. She has dark hair with one lock of blonde hair coming down over this porcelain mask. She comes towards you all as you make your various gestures, your stances. You see no recognition in her eyes as the group of them stand and plant themselves firmly gazing at you and say, "Chains of fear, to thee we yield, for in thy arms all wounds are healed. O Kelemvor, thy grace so stern,
I'm gonna try to puke on her.
to dust all shall return." look of confusion as this chant seems to adopt the music. But regardless, the effect is the same as brilliant light shines out from their holy symbols as these clerics all cast Turn Undead.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Did I get my puke off before they turned us?
So yes, actually your puke begins to come out, and as the light emanates from their Turn Undead, the substance that you're spewing forth disappears, turns into vapor before it can hit them. This
Moral victory!
This burst of radiant energy, it's something pure and somehow utterly alien to you. Your necrotic essence that is animating you is finds it bizarrely compelling, but also engenders a deep sense of fear. It starts as a distant pressure, like a faint memory of warmth, someone who has been nearly frozen. The idea of a candle, how that might warm one's hands, but it quickly amplifies, becomes a searing, all-encompassing flame, and you don't feel it burning your flesh. You feel it burning something deep within, burning your soul, if your soul is in fact here. And every fiber of your being is being yanked toward this blinding, oppressive light that blasts away all of the necrotic energy. This scarlet malice that is within you is annihilated by this light. And you feel a deep sense of you have to get away, you have to flee this light, you must get away, but you're not able to move fast enough, and as such the light completely subsumes you, and you once again find yourself in utter blackness.
Oh God!
Enough of that. Oh my god. How many times are we gonna die?
I
That
can
is
only
up to
hope this
you
isn't
all.
a good thing.
Yeah.
I think that even though it instills a fear in Dawn and myself, I would also feel a very welcoming, because it's something I've done myself, and so it's like a very welcoming sensation as well. But it's like instinctively to want to run from it now because of what I've become.
Yes, the willingness to accept this, or your however you wish to feel about it here, the result is the same. A intensely unpleasant experience in one sense, but the fact that you're no longer these creatures probably brings with it a sense of relief. But as you plummet once again into darkness, heading who knows where this time, we are going to take a break, and I will see you all back here in 5 minutes.
I hope to God
Whatever comes next.
Oh.
I just want my stuff back.
Yeah.
I want my jaw
I mean,
back.
it's, that players always want their stuff. That's you always want your stuff.
I just want to shower now.
Oh.
So gross.
Oh,
See you back here in 5.
Kai.
Did you really think I would notice the blatant hubris of the Council of Coastal Wizards? Perhaps they believed altering the fabric of the cosmos would keep me, from my fledgling warlocks, forcing my hand-selected tools to claw and crawl for experience they deem fit to forge a pact with me. Ridiculous. But the slamming of the celestial door made me realize I've committed a sin. I've forgotten about your world. Probably from the monotony of the same story over and over again. Slay the dragon, stop the evil cult, thirst over the vampire. Well, let's change that. Let's make it fun again, shall we? My carnival is coming to your world for a little housekeeping. All those messy rules those wizards put into place will leave a lot of things forgotten after all. I'm sure you won't miss them. But only if you accept my invite to the greatest story I've yet to weave, just for your insignificant ball of rock. All are welcome, from the most accursed king down to the misplaced orphan. I promise that everyone will leave with their souls intact. Seriously, I don't deal in souls. That's so... last millennia.
And welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with us over the break. We appreciate you being here. If you are just now joining us, well, you missed a pretty gross time as the adventurers got to experience life as undead and have then experienced what happens to a lot of undead in D&D. They have been destroyed by holy power. Now find themselves hurtling back from whence they came. Before we go any further, though, I want to once again give a deep thank you to Storytellers Forge, the writers and producers of this stream and this module that we're playing, The Black Ballad. Also to Dia Morte for the amazing music that you are hearing right now and will hear continuously throughout the rest of this stream. And also to my wonderful players who are just the best people and I hope they enjoy the things that I put them through. I have a feeling there's going to be a moratorium on grossness coming. I didn't mean for it to become a thing, guys, but it really is a thing. And with all the goop and the gross and the stickiness. But we will try to move beyond that if we can. And for those of you watching, I just want to say that at the end of this season of Severed Threads, there will probably be some sort of giveaway. I'm expecting it to be dice, but who knows? So definitely stick around and we'll probably tell you more about that as we go through some more of these episodes. But let us get back in as we once again find our adventurers hurtling through utter darkness, this deep, penetrating blackness that you're now becoming familiar with. You expect the darkness to last for this interminable amount of time that you've experienced before, but this time it goes from being black, pitch black, to brightening to this red, this blood red, this flame red, this burning, insidious red light that seems to be rushing at you and then rushing through you. As you blast through it, you get a sense of actually movement, and as opposed to just floating and eventually arriving, you feel as if you're propelled out of a cannon, shot into the sky of the Sunless Crossing, as opposed to gently floating down as a golden drop of light. You are hurtling across the sky like a meteor, and it is not until just at the moment that you're about to impact on the ground that there is a sudden breaking, and you feel as if everything that encompasses your incorporeal self is turned inside out. There's a brief moment of disorientation, and then you find yourself once again lying among the ash-covered wheat and grass of the Ashen Fields.
How do we feel?
Oh, thank God. Finally got my hair back.
You feel like yourselves. Once again, this sense of having lost something that you can't really put your finger on, but it is the familiar disorientation that you had the first time you arrived here. You look down at your form, you have substance, you take a breath, although you know you don't need to. Your items are with you. These pieces of yourself that have some sort of resonance with your soul that seem to manifest here with you in the Ashen Fields, in the Sunless Crossing. However, there is one difference. You are enwrapped with this vine-like substance. In shape and size, it's very much like kelp, except it is not slimy. It is more brittle, like very old, gnarled roots that wrap around your body, around your neck, around your extremities, and it is vibrant blood red and has a capillary, almost as like being wrapped in veins, thick veins of some enormous creature. But you're back. You look up, you see the roiling vortex. You see more souls crashing down around you. You even see in the distance what appears to be some sort of skirmish between the Legionnaires and the Accursed Guard.
If
I'm
I
gonna
remember,
rush over. Oh, sorry.
no, it's okay. If I remember correctly, we could actually remove these kelp-like attachments, right? They
You've
came
seen
off of-
others remove them, yes.
I'm gonna start peeling mine off, and I'll.
As you peel it off, it breaks, it comes free very easily, and as soon as it leaves contact with your skin, it begins to disintegrate in your hands and turns into this same ash that is all over the Ashen Fields.
All right, Goo Crew, sound off. We all here?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna rush over to Dusk. I'm like ignoring the stuff that's on me, and I'm rushing over to Dusk, and I'm just like, I'm actually grabbing her face because this is the second time she's died. So I'm like grabbing her face and looking in her eyes and just trying to see if anything else is like if she's affected more than the rest of it, like what's going on, like just checking on Dusk because I know she's
Indeed.
died once already before now.
What are you doing?
And I'm gonna just look into her eyes and just see if anything seems off more than the rest of us, I guess.
She has a
All right,
right to be concerned, Dusk. This isn't your first time. How do you feel?
Like shit, like all of us.
She seems fine.
Can I like insight check her
Sure,
vibe?
make an
to
insight
see
check.
if-
And Dusk, are you actually doing sort of a self-check to see if you are, how you're feeling?
No.
That's terrible.
Got it.
16.
Okay.
That's our
16. She appears to be the same. She has the same ropey red material all over her, but you see your sister.
I start to take
she's
Dawn's off.
holding her staff.
And I was gonna say I start to take Dusk's off.
Yes, we're just taking it off of one another.
So, don't worry, she probably only forgot her times tables or something.
As if I'd ever need that.
As if she ever knew that.
Dawn, you didn't know what a sheep was. Dusk, you didn't know what a sheep was.
Okay. We are allowed to not know everything.
Yes, that is accurate. Look at Jack.
Sheep, yeah.
After I get all this stuff off Dusk, I'm gonna go over and I know Wynn's gonna hate it, but I hug Wynn.
Oh, and she tolerates it like a good, stern grandma.
We almost fell apart without you.
Do I have the hair accessory that I got for her when we were getting our outfits for the
The only
event?
things that you have with you are the items, your original 5 items. You'll recall, not including clothing.
Oh my gosh. No,
So I don't have
we
my
don't have like
staff.
None of the
fancy
Nixian
shield?
blade things, none of the. Nope.
None
Not
of
like
those
the
things,
crown or
correct.
anything.
Nothing
And-
like that.
Okay.
I'm so tired of this.
You mean I lost my really kick-ass Hot Topic choker? No.
I hope Hugo's having a good time somewhere.
Guys, we have to get back to Nox Valar and find out what happened to the Sovereign.
I
Can we-
agree.
Let's go
Do.
right now.
You do understand why it is those items, correct, and not the other ones.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's the ones that are like
Connected.
bound to our souls.
No, I accept your
Okay.
ridiculous logic. Yes.
Yeah, fine. We don't get to keep our super cool outfits that we picked out for the party, even though everybody was judging mine for being too plain.
I looked
But
so
whatever.
good. I looked so good.
Yeah, why don't we
Shut
take a moment here, since this is the first episode of season 2? Let's take a moment to remind each other and our viewers what everybody looks like. We will start with Dusk.
I am a dark teal tiefling with even darker teal hair swooped to the side with a long braid. wearing probably, I mean, I don't have the really kick-ass dress now, but probably still something very black or dark green. On my face, I have a dark pink, almost reddish tattoos that are swirly, reminiscent of the ones that her twin sister Dawn has. And she has kind of tall, very slightly bendy horns that go up pretty dang high.
All right. And then we will move further down the line, going in reverse. This will bring us to Niall.
I am an olive-skinned human in my late 40s. I'm about 6 feet tall, a pretty lithe build, and I carry myself with a rather upright, kind of haughty posture. I have black hair that's pulled back, long hair with little wisps of gray that poke out at the front. I have a closely cropped beard, and I have a mustache that curls up on the sides. I have a very involved patterned tattoo that encircles my left eye, and a dagger tattoo that pierces my right. I'm in a simple kind of noble dress. I have a black silk shirt, a fitted leather vest that kind of hugs my chest pretty tightly, and a black bow tie. I look very manicured, but if you look closely, you'll see that my hands bear cuts and scars and burn marks. I have a pair of pince-nez glasses that rest on my nose, and every time you see me look through them, my brows furrow and I scowl a little.
Very nice. Win.
Win is definitely the oldest of the group, and if you are thinking of the maiden mother crone triplet, she's definitely in her crone era, but she is elf. I'm sorry, half elf, right? Yes,
It has
half-elf.
been some time.
Yes, half elf, and she has black hair with shots of white through it. She is graying, but it's very white, not just like silver or gray. You never see her out of her armor unless it's a very unusual situation, and she usually has her hair up in a severe ponytail. She doesn't wear any makeup, but she does have dark like eyeliner around her eye, but it never seems to come off, so people assume it's a tattoo, but we're not exactly sure. And because you can't really picture her like doing her eyeliner in the mirror, but you also can't really picture her getting a face tattoo either. So she is the epitome of a stern, awesome grandma.
All right. Next we have Jack.
Jack reminds you of the babe. He is for sure a small fairy, about 2.5 to 3 feet tall. He is just like the most Barty Bard you've ever seen in your life. Got a shock of 80s rockers hair, loves big frilly shirts and accoutrement, as well as jewelry, and very much a loving homage to Jareth from the Labyrinth, with the combination of the prince from Thumbelina, if you want to go ahead and do that mashup in your head. So, and so between those two, he's you see on his back, he's got a sort of bass ukulele, and then wearing the tightest pants he could ever find, and a nice tall set of boots. Yeah, he's here to spread mischief and have a good time.
The bass ukulele, a ukulele.
That was great.
I did one.
That was a good one.
Yay.
And last but not least, we have Dawn.
Dawn is very opposite to her sister in pretty much every way. She is a pink-skinned tiefling with a shoulder-length, very soft bob in a dark magenta color. She also has a face tattoo, but hers is teal and has very sharp angles, very similar to her sister's very sharp personality. She wears very simple clothes in like grays and whites, but she does have a couple pieces pieces of adornment on her. She's got a holy symbol that she wears around her neck with the symbol for Azuth on it. And then she has a drop earring that hangs from her one ear that has a stone that is remarkably close in color to her sister's skin. And other than that, she's got gold eyes, and that's the one similarity between the twins.
Fantastic. All right. Does anybody have anything they wish to do or say at this moment? Other than just be not undead.
We should really get back to Noxvalar.
Do
Maybe
we
find Johan.
Do we have any idea where we are looking around? Like, is this... Are we near the grove? Are we near the crossing?
You appear to be in an area of the Ashen Fields that you have not yet been, but you look around and you can see the city of Noxvalar. It is visible from all points in the Sunless Crossing. Looks to be several hours away by foot.
I will summon my mount.
Oh, yes, your mount. So as you begin to do this, however, as you are concentrating on this spell, as you once again all have your powers back, there is a bright blue light that seems to be making its way towards you from the direction of Noxvalar. It is distinctive in that it is not one of the red souls plummeting down to surface, and it is not the maelstrom of purple and pink light up ahead. And it is not this lightning that is constantly roiling across the sky, this incredibly violent looking storm that has no sound. This light begins to move towards you. It stops for a moment, and you watch as it moves a little bit one direction and then a little bit other direction, and then stops again and begins to move towards you all. Wynn, do you still wish to continue to cast your spell?
As I went to cast it, I need a long rest, so I can't cast it.
As Yak sees you like struggling to start to put it together, it's like, you say the word and I'll summon the dolphins.
So, point of fact, I think I'm remiss to say that as you have all arrived here in Noxvalar again, in the Sunless Crossing once again, please mark off a long rest.
Well then. Then the answer to that changes, and yes, I would like to, but it does take time, so it's not gonna. I don't stop when I see. If I get interrupted, then
that's what you're saying.
The blue light is definitely now. It is clear to all of you. It is moving in your direction.
I can't open a portal for us to hide. I hope this is not a foe we're about to encounter.
Remember the tornadoes.
Vividly.
But this isn't that storm.
It does look different.
Do we
it's not a different storm?
Recognize the light, because we've seen the Arbiter travel long distances quickly. Mm-hmm. We've seen the Sovereign do it. We've seen a few other people from here travel long distances quickly. Does this look familiar to any of those that we saw?
Make a perception check. It does not look familiar, I would say, but as you are looking at it and pondering it, it's worth a perception check.
28.
As you gaze upon it, you immediately recognize it is some sort of torch-like item being held aloft by a winged creature. There are other winged creatures nearby it. As it comes into view, these appear to be members of the Nixian Guard, gargoyles. Their wings flapping across propelling them across the sky. This light gets brighter and brighter. It seems to be getting brighter as it gets closer to you. And within moments, they are upon you as 5 of these large stone-constructed creatures land with heavy thuds around you. And the one that is holding the light, it appears to be a torch of some sort that is just emanating this blue light, comes forward, holds the torch in your direction from about 10 feet away. As it does, it pulses with a very bright light, and then he nods in satisfaction, puts it away. As he does, the light goes out, and he says, "It's you."
Does the Sovereign live?
It's us.
Looks at you, and he nods, says, "She does."
Oh, thank God.
great deal of resource and power has been expended to return you here, and she wishes to speak with you immediately.
Of course.
Lead the way.
Yeah.
Well, if you will be so kind. And goes down on one knee, spreads his wings out. You see the rest of them do something similar. It seems as if they wish you to climb aboard.
Piggyback ride.
You
Okay.
see Niall start to sweat a little bit, and he just moves forward and awkwardly climbs on top. All right then. Forgive me for holding on tightly.
I recommend it.
I'll climb aboard one too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put my hand on one shoulder. Thank you so much. This hopefully things aren't gonna go to complete shit just yet. And I'll get on board.
So as you climb on board, there's this strange sensation, this smooth skin like polished stone, but you can feel muscles moving underneath it as each of these creatures incongruously leap into the air, and you can feel the mass and strength and heaviness of these gargoyles, but somehow they're still able to fly and fly with you on their backs as they bring you quickly back to the city of Nox Villar, resting upon its plateau. The water that surrounds the etherwood tree that is in the center of it, cascading off of its plateaued sides and dissipating into the ashen fields. You are taken directly to the Onyx Requiem, the scene of your recent demise. Once again, it strikes you that there's something incredibly ancient about this temple, although you don't see any signs of decay or ruin. There is an aesthetic quality to it that seems to have been matched and copied throughout the city of Nox Villar, all the various buildings, but this was clearly the first. Gone are any signs of partying. There's still a few decorations left over from the shepherd's feast, and you see people clearing away things. Does not look like much time has passed. Certainly not days and days. But as you are brought in once again to the throne room, you see instead of this lively gathering that was here before, you hear witness vicious arguments happening between various dignitaries and officials from every branch of the godless monarchy. You see the massive green form of Veiling the Jade standing stoically, listening to both what is being said and also probably the intent underneath the words being said. There seems to be an overriding cry for revenge, but not that much of an idea of how to go about it. The sights and smells and sounds of open warfare seem to create almost a musical undertone to the background. There is clearly fighting happening at the very edges of Nox Villar between the Legionnaires and the Accursed Guard, Nixian Guard, and any other enterprising force that wants to take advantage of the chaos that is happening here in the Sunless Crossing. As you step in, you also see Ash Lynn, who is sitting on her throne with a pensive frown on her face. As you come in, her eyes widen, and you see a true smile of happiness, and she steps forward, and instantly the room silences, and she holds out a hand and says, "Welcome, friends. I trust that your ordeal was not too harrowing."
You trust quite incorrectly. Do you know what happens to those who die here now?
She looks around at the assembled. Would you be so kind as to explain it?
When you suffered the longest, share what happened to you.
We returned to our plane of former existence, inhabiting a previously and long dead body. Mine was still caught in the trap that had killed it, and I sat and waited until somehow, by some divine means, the rest found me. Also trapped in undead beings unfamiliar to us.
There is a murmur and uncomfortable and grim looks from many of the assembled here. But it does not seem to be a surprise.
How long has it been?
You are owed answers, and I am ready to give them to you. But, first of all, accept my gratitude and the return of your belongings. And
Yay!
the items that you had acquired are now returned to you.
We are so happy that you made it after that battle.
I would not have if it had not been for your sacrifice. Fortunately, the curse that had been laid upon the Nixian Guard was not a long one. Once they recovered, we were able to defend the Onyx Requiem and drive away the Legionnaires. Or was it the accursed guard? As I say, you are owed answers, and I will give them to you, but you should know that this Kelzir has been captured. Perhaps you would wish to question her or confront her, given that she was so instrumental in what happened.
How did you manage to capture her? She was ferocious.
As I said, thanks to your sacrifice, once the surprise had worn off and once the curse laid upon our troops was lifted, it was at least possible. It was a near thing. But were it not for you, I surely would have perished.
Can you explain something that the Nixian Guard said? They stated that it took a lot of resources to bring us back.
Well, there were divinations, many deities that were consulted to determine where you were and what clergy could be summoned to assure your return. Once you had, there were more divinations and more resources expended to quickly gather you as opposed to letting you wander the fields.
Wait, does that mean that the clerics who sent us back here, they knew who we were?
No living people know of the Sunless Crossing. They would only have known that their deity or the signs of their deity commanded them to go where they went and do what they did. They would not have known you from any other undead.
The wounds that Kelzir was inflicting seem to be more than just the standard fare. Was there any lasting effects on you or the Arbiter?
I am recovered. And she looks over to Valen. Temporary effects. Extremely powerful and deadly, but not insurmountable.
Do you have any idea where she gained that much power?
They look at each other, and Ashlyn gives a slow nod. Perhaps that is something we could discuss as part of your answers.
Yes.
However, I would prefer it in private.
Of course.
Do you wish to walk with me now, or do you wish to interrogate Kelzir? Not that she has anything intelligent to say.
Let's speak
I
to-
might be able to dig a little
Ooh.
deeper than what she has
yeah.
to say.
Yeah, do the touchy-feely thing.
That I will wait until you wish for your answers.
Maybe we
Valen
should start
Wouldn't
with
mind
that so that
sitting on her face.
if we have
Just a
any
second.
answers
Can you
from
get Win
that-
first. What'd you say, Win?
I just quipped that I wouldn't mind spitting in her face.
And then, what did you say, Dawn?
just that then if we get any answers from her, we can share that at the same time we get answers from the Sovereign.
She nods. And Valen steps forward and he says, "Let me add my thanks to the Sovereigns, who all behaved extremely bravely and with impressive attention to duty towards one Sovereign. If you will follow me, I will take you to this Kelzir."
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Let's see. As he takes you out of this room, he walks along again. His enormous wings take up nearly the entire hall as he walks with you. And he leads you to what appears to be just a random room that has several Nixian guards standing guard outside of it. As he comes forward, they step aside and he opens the door and lets you in, and you see wrapped in just layer after layer of chain, Kelzir, sort of looking around. As the door opens, she blinks against the light for a moment and then looks at you all, and her eyes widen in delight. Just, "Oh, you're back! How fun! I guess that means we get to do it all again."
I spit in her face.
I've had so much worse from so much better. Surely you want to do more than just spit. Why not take a little nibble? As she does, she grins, and you see she has two long vampiric fangs.
Interesting.
Dawn?
Well,
Biggest thing.
I'm gonna start by digging deep into my own where all my feelings live, and where that pit in your stomach when you feel anxious, that the butterflies when you fall in love, that place in you where you experience all your feelings in a physical way. And I'm just gonna take that and I'm gonna create a string of energy that I just shoot out to that same spot on her, and I'm gonna attempt to create a bond of empathy with her.
okay.
As an initial. So I develop a psychic impression of this creature that allows me to guide conversations in my favor. So advantage on deception, intimidation, persuasion checks. The one thing is that it doesn't work on undead or constructs. So I don't know if this...
So as you form this bond, it seems to fizzle out before it reaches her, and she grins at you even wider and says, "You tried to do something, didn't you? Didn't feel it."
It's okay. I have other options. And then I'm going to
I'm sure you do.
take a moment, and my eyes are going to flash pink, and then I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts as my kind of just awareness of the people around me extends, and I focus it on her, and I'll start with just her surface thoughts before I dig any deeper.
Utter chaos and just a mishmash of violent thoughts. She, if she is in fact a she, seems to be thinking a lot of blood, you see dismemberment, you see battle, and you see her chewing on someone's neck and consuming blood and gaining power from that.
Vampire.
I'll kind of tell people what I see. And then
You
I'm going to
kind
dig
of tell
deeper.
people what you see?
I'm just going to do like a quick, like, she's very violent. She's very
Poking
hungry.
around in my brain.
She's very hungry.
You would be too, darling. Although I found something far more interesting than just blood. In this amazing place, I can actually consume souls. I can make them a part of me. That's why I was able to absolutely thrash you all earlier. Exhilarating.
And yet you're the one in chains. And
I'm
then I'm going
not
to dig
going to be
deeper.
in chains for long.
I'm going to probe deeper, and she has to make a wisdom save.
Alrighty. You know what? She is going to use a legendary resistance to resist this. As she feels you poking around in her mind, she goes, "Oh, no, no, no.
Can I
We're
just?
not going to have any of that.
Can I
But
just- can I
I'm
dispel
happy
that?
to talk."
Is that-
You cannot dispel,
dispel
the legendary.
legends.
I didn't think so. I didn't think, but yeah.
Ask me whatever
Yes.
you want. I'll give you my thoughts with my mouth.
I can keep casting it if you guys want, or we can just ask her questions.
No, by all means, exhaust her. This is maybe the only time we have her at our advantage.
That connection fizzled out, so I will cast it again,
All right.
extend my thoughts out to her, and attempt to probe deeper
She
into her brain.
rolls her eyes. As, I mean, really? Let's just talk.
Roll your eyes all you want, darling. I doubt you'll find your brain back there.
And I'm going to attempt to dig deeper again.
All right. I'll make a wisdom save. Oh, what's your DC?
18.
18's what she rolled.
I will cast it again.
All right.
Do it.
You know, you
She's
could at
very
least
stubborn.
try to stick me with something. A little pain might help me, I don't know, resist a little less.
I think you'd enjoy
You do it really
too
well,
much.
I'll just let you in.
I think you'd enjoy it too
I
much.
had a nickel.
All right. Another wisdom save?
Uh-huh.
All right, this time it succeeds.
And I'm going to be like, I'm in. Ask her what you will, guys.
You've caused an
She's
incredible
in.
amount of destruction. What is it you want here, aside from power? Who do you serve, or is it just yourself?
Are you asking me why I attacked?
I'm asking in a more grand scale, but if you'd like to start there, as you will.
Well, because it's fun, you moron. Everyone knows an invading army must establish dominance. Quickly. This seems to be the most amusing way to do it. Nice big city on a plateau, gazing over the field. It wasn't my idea, if that's what you're asking. A
Who's?
king! Dorian has finally arrived, and he hatched the plan. An insane plan, if you ask me, but it's still fun. I had a good time, and I look forward to doing it again. Maybe I'll get to kill you all once more. Or you'll
since
might kill me.
Since I'm in there, can I try to get an image of Dorian from her once she mentions him?
Yes, you get the impression of a authority figure that seems to be losing his authority, at least as far as Kelzir is concerned. Weak and gradually becoming vestigial. And as she says, as you were seeing this, she says out loud, Who truly wants to follow a mad king when the war has become this fascinating? There are demons here, an empire to usurp, and death is deliciously meaningless. If we can't kill one tiny monarch, then maybe it's every warlock for themselves. I got so close to killing her, but I failed.
Who is
But maybe
the
I'll get another
historian?
chance. Our leader. It seemed to be so important once, but I must admit, I've forgotten most of the details. The accursed king, he led us to great power. We were able to make multiple pacts, increase every aspect of what it meant to be a warrior. When what gods grant to clerics, he was able to grant to us, but not by himself, by drawing upon the power of so many interested parties. But that's in the past. Now I could draw power from the souls that I consume here. It's much better.
What entity allowed you to consume souls and gain power from them?
Just did what came naturally, darling.
She fed, but I think because we're not alive here, lifeblood probably isn't what she fed on anywhere.
She said she made several pacts, that they all made several pacts, and pacts come with someone who pulls the chain.
You think you won't be in
Because,
chains much longer?
I'll get out.
Do I
have
see like
no doubt of that.
Do I see like a plan that working through in her brain?
No, actually, she just seems supremely confident that these chains won't be able to hold her.
I guess she's so used to failing, she knows how to get out of it.
How are you planning to break out if you're so bold?
You really think I have a plan? That's just not me.
No,
If
she's
you're-
that.
What's your thing with Janos and the other group?
Oh, Janos. Who used to be an item, you know. But I think that ship has sailed. You want to know why we're fighting? It's simple, really. The Legionnaires became jealous of the accursed gods. We had this power, you see, and they didn't like that, so they tried to bring down the patrons. They tried to kill those that were giving us power. If somebody tried to kill your god, wouldn't you retaliate? I think it's only fair.
Who are the patrons?
Oh, there's hundreds of them. All different interested parties having their thumbs and just so many pies. Of course, she doesn't actually make the symbol with her. She's chained up. But
Is your end game just simply gaining more power to sit at the top of the food chain? Is that all you want here? Even someone as chaotic as you must have a grander scheme in mind.
I like the fighting. I like the killing. I like gaining more souls to power this incredible strength within me. And I don't really care about Dorian anymore. Not really. I just want to keep fighting. But I don't think you understand the enormity of your situation. We are all coming here. Every single one of us. And when we kill each other, we'll bring even more back with us because that's what's happening, friends. more and more, with each death, you'll be overwhelmed. It's inevitable. So get comfortable with killing, because that's all you're going to have for eternity, it would seem.
So you plan to flood the Sunless Crossing
That's not my plan, it's just what's going to happen.
with a cursed guard so that they can fight for eternity?
Eventually, I'll run out of things to kill.
No, we won't.
Are you guys the ones responsible for people coming back to their to other planes as zombies?
No. Have no idea about any of that. I just know that it's happening. We
I'm
all get
taking
to
it.
benefit.
It's strange that it happened at the same time.
Dawn, can you see her memories?
Yeah, I can probe. I can dig.
What gods has she talked to? What pacts did the accursed guard make? They have thrown something off. And now
I'm
we're
gonna
all
dig.
higgledy-piggledy.
I'm gonna dig for names.
I think it's probably the
memories.
fact that they have multiple patrons, which that's not supposed to be a thing.
Right. And we're here in the Sunless Crossing where everyone is supposed to be represented. So that means someone's looking to shake shit up. And that means they've got to be somewhere here. Or at the very least, we can talk to the Legionnaires and figure out who they're looking to get under the axe. Because I imagine we have the same problem.
I'm gonna dig for names, but I'm gonna try to specifically see if I can find something related to if she knows anything about how Dorian managed to start allowing people to have multiple patrons, like what the first patron that started like splintering would be.
All right, so make a... I'm going to call this a caster check. Just a straight caster check.
Ooh. Is there any... I imagine there's no way we can help her.
Obviously, your spell is in effect.
So is it like advantage or something because I have detect thoughts for digging through her, or
No, just
regular
make
caster?
this is a very hidden.
Okay, 11.
Ugh.
11. All right. So you already are able to find information, but maybe not as much information and the reason why is it's fractured. Her mind is fractured. You actually begin to get fragments of what you think are other minds or other souls that are intermingled with her own. She is perhaps losing a little bit of who she is and what she represents as all of these other souls begin to meld and merge into a new creature. You get the impression that there was a king, and you see very clearly now a white-haired, stern-looking, handsome man with deep, piercing eyes. He has a crown, he has dark clothing, he's holding a cane. He had a secret for a very long time, it would seem, that he was able to grow his power by multi-pacting with different patrons of this sort of the not quite godlike status beings, but beings that were interested in having warlocks at their command. But he was able to multi-pact something that was not supposed to be able to happen. He had this realm called the Shadelands. He was able to make it happen there. But now he seems to travel from plane to plane, making war on other people there. But you will recall that when the Kelsier entered in, there seemed to be a great number of warlocks that were a part of the attack. It would seem he has armies and armies of these empowered warlocks, greatly empowered. And you recall that when you fought Yanthezul, she seemed to have access to much more power than a warlock would normally have. It seemed that she is benefiting from this multi-pack power as well. But any more details than that is just being lost in the sea of other minds and other souls that are now becoming a part of Kelsier.
From what I know, because like when you die here, you start losing pieces of yourself, and how you stay here is to remember yourself from everything that we were told.
That is definitely information that you've been had.
You said that it seems to be becoming a new creature. Am I getting the impression that, like, because it sounded previously like you could fade away and just cease to exist here if you fully forgot yourself? Am I getting the impression that's happening to her, or do I think something else is happening to her? Like she's got...
If you had to describe it, what is roiling within her mind, which here in this place is essentially her soul, is a quilt, like a patchwork of different beings that have been stitched together and creating a wellspring of power that is allowing her to be the formidable, nigh unstoppable force that you saw when she attacked Ashlyn. So not really being absorbed into Kelsier, but more that Kelsier is assimilating these souls, and they are all becoming something else together.
But eventually she can't seem to control all those.
Well, you would think that eventually, as you know, if you die enough times, you will unravel and forget who you are and fade away. It seems to be the state, which is why it's not a good idea to continue to die here in the Sunless Crossing. She seems to have found a way around that by, rather than letting that happen to her each time she dies, and who knows how many times she's died at this point, she is taking power from the other souls that she finds and stitches them together, knitting them into her own.
Okay.
And Kelsier, as you find these thoughts, looks at you and she says, "It's not just me, you know. We're all finding we can do this. Every time we come back, we find new souls wandering around, and we take them."
Well, thank you. That's been very helpful. I think we're going to excuse ourselves at this moment.
I'm gonna,
See you
got
again,
a little.
I'm sure.
I'm gonna sever the connection that I have with her. I'm done. If you guys have more questions,
That was fun.
ask them.
But it could be so much more fun. Let's really make this an interrogation. Start cutting things off.
Why are you so excited about something like that?
You shouldn't knock it till you tried it, darling.
I think we should take our leave.
Quite.
I'll look back as
I
we're
cannot wait
wandering
to
away.
have this again. It'll happen different every time, more glorious than the last. I'll destroy you, baby, you'll destroy me over and over and over again. Death upon death upon death. It's going to be spectacular.
You are cuckoo in the weirdest ways.
We shut the door on her.
Alrighty.
When you guys come out and find Dawn again, she's vomiting.
Oh, I'm holding your hair back.
That was a disturbing brain to be in.
Do you want a cracker?
The thoughts, the people. I don't even know if it was just her. in. Like, I just...
Thank you for doing that.
And I'll tell the group, and is the Arbiter still with us?
He is.
Yeah, I'll tell them she's becoming something. I don't know what, but she's not fading. She's becoming something. And
We call them the soul stitched.
I don't know if we can save the souls that she's taken.
Oh, wait. So
It has been
What is the soul stitched?
It is that. It has been something that has been happening more and more, but it should not happen. It is a symptom of a great tragedy. The Sovereign will explain it to you, but please take your time.
I'd love to hear their explanation.
We're ready to speak with
Let's
her.
go.
Yes.
John will stand up
No.
and wipe the vomit off her mouth.
Yeah.
After
No.
Dawn
Wait.
cleans up, yes.
No, if you could just get her a
Sorry
craft,
about that.
just like that.
Food. There should still be some left over from the feast, if that is what you require.
I couldn't eat.
Then we shall return to the throne room.
Yes.
She turns and leads you back. As you make your way towards it, you hear the voices of the godless monarchy arguing once again, and you hear one say, "Which god should we pray to?" You hear another voice, "If we kill them all at once, will they still return?" The voice, "Killing them will only bring down more at a faster pace. There should be a way to seal off the realm." And you hear other arguing voices overlapping one another, as once again, it doesn't seem like anybody has a good idea of what to do. As you step in, you hear Ashlyn once again speaking to the group and silences it. She says, "As your sovereign, I have an obligation to see these matters through till the end. Needless to say, I am personally invested at the moment." She brushes some of the broken glass from the windows of where Kelsier came in. She brushes it away from her throne. She says, "Sometimes answers can be found by looking into the past. I'm going to steal away our heroic guests for a brief moment and do just that. All of you, and Valen, please follow me."
Okay.
She leads you into the hallway that is actually behind the throne, in this throne room, to what you understand to be the Hall of Reflections. It was described briefly to you during the party. There was a half-orc that was interested in visiting it but didn't want to go alone. The sounds of the fighting that still rise up from perhaps in Noxvalar itself, or at the very least the outskirts of it, begin to fade as you move into this relatively calm and peaceful area. And you watch as the Sovereign and the Arbiter walk side by side, their hands almost touching as they move into this hall. The hall itself seems to go on literally forever. You cannot see the end of it. It disappears in the far, far distance. As you walk, you see that there are statues, but as you look at them, you realize they're not statues. They're actually gargoyles, frozen in stone. Each of one of them slightly different pose, but all of them stoic in an expression that seems to suggest that they willingly ended their lives here and returned to being statues. And next to each one of them is a portrait all of them exquisitely painted or drawn of what you assume to be past sovereigns. Some of them even have dried bouquets of flowers laid in front of them. As you walk past all of these individuals, Ashlyn turns to you and confirms and says, "These are past sovereigns, and they're arbiters, or arbiters that chose to end their watch. Valen here has overseen several sovereigns in his time." Valen nods. "Indeed. For 1,000 years I have held this post." "I would like to speak to you about the nature of this place. But perhaps you would ask questions first."
Explain to us what tragedy formed the soul stitched.
And I suppose all the other problems that are likely stemming from it.
The tragedy. Long ago, when the gods themselves were young, there was one among them who rose like most gods do from the ranks of the mortal world. There are great and vast powers. They almost defy description, but we call them domains. It is what gods pray to, if there is indeed such a thing. She was adopted by the domain of life. Her name was Nixia. She became aware that as souls were resurrected after being killed, that they were ripped from their afterlives. This was not something that they would remember, but it did leave a mark on their souls, one that would affect them. Those that died had experienced the afterlife of punishment. They would return to life ever fearful. And those that died and experienced bliss of eternal reward, they would be returned to life and always find the mortal world just that much less. She saw it as a great injustice and recognized that a solution must be found. So, she presented one to the rest of the gods. That was the beginning of the Sunless Crossing, a realm in place to come to terms with their demise and then perhaps return back to life if resurrection magic is involved, with no memory whatsoever of their time here. It was always meant to be a temporary place. Something created as a stopgap for a problem that needed a more permanent solution. The tragedy is that the gods, all of them, promised that there would be such a solution. For in order to create this realm, Nixia had to sacrifice herself. That was eons ago. And no solution has presented itself. And so Nixia remains literally the Sunless Crossing. As far as the Soul Stitched are concerned, something is happening. There's erosion of the rules that govern this place. They should not exist. The fact that they do means that something is dreadfully wrong. This scarlet malice that stems from who knows where, it threatens to undo everything. There are many threats to the Sunless Crossing, most commonly creatures from other planes. Demons who seek to harvest the souls here. They think of them as stuck in limbo, easy to harvest. This entire realm is a sorting and holding place for those who have perished, but only from realms of existence that have access to resurrection or necromantic arts. Because of this, the Sunless Crossing has become and should be a neutral ground from all realms and access to such magics. Even devils are allowed to practice openly as long as they abide by the rules, but the rules are changing. Other questions? I'm sure you have some.
Do you know anything
Nix-
of the song that is going around?
It is everywhere. All who are killed now, here in the Sunless Crossing, seem to be arriving somewhere in the mortal realm, and they bring with them this song. It seems to grab a hold of those living that encounter them. But as best as we could tell, it is a death sentence. All of them, within days, either kill themselves or succumb to its power and come here.
Then why are we hearing it here?
It is not something that I understand as of yet. It is a good question.
But we're hearing people make the sound. People are humming it. Whole souls are humming it. If they're being affected in their own realm,
It's being
to the point
hummed by...
that they killed
Continue.
themselves to come and end up here. Perhaps it's just one of the things that they're bringing with them, like my amulet, like your armor. Perhaps it becomes so much a part of their soul that it travels with them.
It's an interesting theory.
If
Perhaps.
Do we hear that music right now? DM?
Here in the Hall of Reflection, actually, you cannot. It is peaceful here. This seems to be the very heart of the Sunless Crossing, and as of yet, it appears to be unaffected.
you said Nixia
Yes.
sacrificed herself to create this place, to solve a problem she saw in how the universe worked. And she exists as this place. But God's, and I'm going to just give a side eye to my sister for a quick moment, fade sometimes. If they're not,
You're quite right.
if they're not,
And
if
that
there's
is-
nobody focused on them, could that be what's
And
happening?
that is why it is the duty of every sovereign, myself included, once we live the amount of time that we would have lived in the mortal world. But it is our time. We give our essence to the Sunless Crossing, to Nixia, so that she and it can continue to exist.
Okay.
What if you didn't? What if Nixia ceased to be the Sunless Crossing?
I cannot even Imagine the chaos that would unleash. But that might be the only solution. We will certainly be overrun in time as more and more souls continue to arrive here, far more than the Sunless Crossing was ever meant to bear.
What if? Because you said that this was supposed to be a stopgap until a larger plan, a larger solution was put in place. What if a single person, a single sovereign, trying to hold on to Nixia is not enough for the volume? People are here for so long, waiting to either move on or be resurrected. What if the place has become too much for one sovereign to maintain the belief in Nixia, to maintain the rules, for her to maintain the strength to keep it working? And as it breaks down, more people flood it, and it breaks down further, and it eats away at itself.
You're suggesting that I ask for volunteers?
I'm offering suggestions into what could potentially be happening.
Is there a
It's
temple
an interesting thought.
to Nixia?
She holds out her arms. If there is one, it is the entirety of the Sunless Crossing. As she says this, you begin to realize you've arrived at the first paintings and sculptures of gargoyles, or gargoyles themselves, that begin to show signs of real age. Just statues paintings that are so old they are begun to crumble. And an expression of sadness comes over Valen and also Ashlyn, and she says, I wanted you all to know the truth of this place and understand there is not an easy solution in sight as far as I can tell, but I think, and she turns to Valen, and Valen nods. He says, the city must be defended by any means. The souls that are here must have every chance to either be resurrected or find their way to their eternal rest. Will you continue to fight on our behalf?
Of course.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Let us return then.
Then wait.
And go
You
ahead.
said you wanted to show us the true nature of this place. The pools of reflection. Is this a place of commune? Is this a place of... What does
Halls
this
of
do?
reflection.
Sorry.
It is a place of peace. I suppose the true nature of this place is one of sacrifice. And that is, she gestures to this immense hall. That is what I wanted to show you, but also to tell you and answer your questions.
This may be a stupid question. I don't ask many.
Well,
Can Nixia be communicated with? Or is she just an idea now?
I don't know. But that is a very interesting question. The journey back to the throne room is quiet, contemplative. You make your way back through the Sunless Crossing's history. You arrive at the throne room. The debate seems to have ceased. And you see a hand-drawn map of the realm is resting on a cleared table with several Nixian guards placing markers on it to represent areas that are heavily impacted by the fighting that is happening between the Legionnaires and the Cursed Guard. Ashlyn steps forward to address these assembled people, and she leans on her massive mace, which she takes from its place at the side of the throne. She says, "In time, we will all be but a memory, but like countless other sovereigns before me, I have a duty to die for this realm. If these lost souls, these legionnaires, these accursed guards, insist on disrupting this place with violence, then we must greet them with proper etiquette, no? The etiquette of war?" As she finishes this statement, there is the sound of a soft clap that breaks the silence. Your eyes turn quickly to a figure that was unseen until now. It's dressed in a very dark purple robe with swirls of gold and white embroidery. Blue-skinned, tiefling features, but they hide their face behind a porcelain mask.
No!
But a war against whom, my friends? You've begun to ask the right questions, but I fear you won't reach the right conclusions without a little divine help. Allow me to introduce myself. Taking off the mask reveals curious, piercing red eyes, somewhat androgynous features. Gives a deep bow. They call me Majan the Betrayer, and I've seen the worry and fear many of you bear in your dreams over this scarlet malice. Please, if you will allow, let me give you a glimpse of fate and place a choice within your hands. And that, my friends, will be where we end our session for tonight. Thank you once again for being the awesome players that you are.
But like 7 more hours.
So many cliffhangers. I cannot handle it.
I know, it's lots of cliffhangers. Once again, a great thank you to the Storytellers Forge, the writers and publishers of The Black Ballad, which we are playing. We are so grateful for them for sponsoring yet another season, so we get to continue on with this fantastic story. Great thanks to Diamorte, who provided the music that you're listening to, music that has been purpose written for this this module, and also to the fantastic art that you are seeing here, our character art by the amazing Kai. All of the links to these various individuals' important information, their Instagram and so on and so forth, is all in the chat. If you like what you see and would like more, please check me out. I am also on the Instagram, and I am a DM for hire and happy to DM you in your games. I also have a podcast that Samus and I are a part of called Echoes of Kryn. It takes place in the world of Dragonlance, also an actual play like this. I think you'll enjoy it. And just fantastic to be back doing this for the foreseeable future. So, goodbye, everyone, and we'll see you next time for Session 2 of 7 Threads, Notes from the Black Ballad. Take care till then, all, and goodbye.
Did you really think I would notice the blatant hubris of the Council of Coastal Wizards? Perhaps they believed altering the fabric of the cosmos would keep me from my fledgling warlocks, forcing my hand-selected tools to claw and crawl for experience they deem fit to forge a pact with me. Ridiculous. but the slamming of the celestial door made me realize I've committed a sin. I've forgotten about your world. Probably from the monotony of the same story over and over again. Slay the dragon, stop the evil cult, thirst over the vampire. Well, let's change that. Let's make it fun again, shall we? My carnival is coming to your world for a little housekeeping. All those messy rules those wizards put into place will leave a lot of things forgotten after all. I'm sure you won't miss them, but only if you accept my invite to the greatest story I've yet to weave, just for your insignificant ball of rock. All are welcome, from the most accursed king down to the misplaced orphan. I promise that everyone will leave with their souls intact. Seriously, I don't deal in souls. That's so... last millennia.